Hello, English teachers! Are you ready to power up your English classroom? Here are some tips for you to consider when adapting teaching materials. Adapting textbooks is modifying, adding or deleting, reorganizing, and extending the content and tasks from a textbook. We want our classes to be interactive and promote more communication in English. However, our textbook or other teaching resources may not lead to authentic communication in English. Not only that, our materials may not motivate our students to learn. How can we adapt our textbook materials to promote communication in English and get our students excited to learn? There are 3 tips I want to suggest to you. Tip number 1. Use a jigsaw activity to lighten the load and promote more communication. When you see long and difficult reading or listening passages in your teaching resource, you can adapt them into shorter, digestible chunks. For example, long reading or listening passages can be cut up or divided into parts that can each be distributed to small groups. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and each group gets one piece of the puzzle. After each group learns the information in their short passage, they can exchange information from their part with other groups or the whole class. As you can see, jigsaw activities are a great way to lessen the load while promoting communication. Tip number 2, modify tasks based on learner preferences. For instance, visual learners can be encouraged to draw or use images such as storyboards or graphic organizers. For auditory learner preferences, students can be paired up and read a text together or to each other with their partners. For kinesthetic learners, they can perform role plays or mini dramas. In fact, integrating and using all of these strategies will support all learners. So when adapting textbooks, modify the tasks by adding visual, auditory, and kinesthetic supports. As these examples show, adding pair work and small group work can be used effectively to adapt an activity based on learning preferences and create an interactive learning environment. Last but not least, tip number 3, adapt your teaching materials to be culturally appropriate or culturally relevant to your local context. Let's think. How often do you adapt your textbooks and materials because of cultural reasons? Almost always, frequently, sometimes, rarely, or never. There are times when teaching resources have to be adapted due to cultural reasons. Maybe your students don't have the background knowledge about a particular culture in a video clip. For example, different cultures see characteristics of animals differently. In U.S. culture, we think of foxes as sly, owls as wise, dogs as loyal, and black cats as bad luck. What about in your culture? Is it the same or different? Or perhaps an article includes information that is not culturally suitable for learning within your context. Maybe it has a topic that is taboo. In such cases, feel free to adapt the content to make sense for your culture while promoting understanding of other international cultures. Remember that our students will use English in the future to communicate with people from different countries and cultures around the world. We should engage our English learners with cultural material from around the world, as well as helping our students learn to express aspects of their culture in English. A word of advice to you all is don't ever feel pressured to teach everything that is in your textbook or teaching resource exactly the way they are presented. As long as we are meeting the learning objectives, feel free to explore the different options and methods of instruction available and adapt from the teaching resources to make your students' learning interesting, fun, and interactive. Thanks for watching and learning. Now, let's go do it.